Enough of that motherfucking fluffy ass shit, man. If you came here on a motherfucking Saturday night to turn the fuck up and go down with your best friends tonight and get stupid with us. If you came here for a marvelous, magnificent, terrific, remarkable motherfucking time, put your mother hands in the air right now like this.
What up, y'all? It's Malcolm J. Gray here with NEHip-Hop.com. I'm here with G-Eazy.
What's cracking, man?
What's up, bro? How are you?
Just maneuvering and, you know.
Let me sit back and get comfortable. Like, I need to do some fly shit. What's going on?
Yo, just, this tour is crazy, you know. Just trying to enjoy the moment, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's like as soon as it's here, as soon as it's gone, it's like I've looked forward to doing this for a long time. Like, with the House of Blues,
right.
You know, I've thought about coming here for a long time. Mm-hmm. Then as soon as it show starts, it's done, and that's it. You know what I mean? It'll never happen again. Like boom, that's behind us. So we just try to enjoy the present.
How do you feel about the progression? Like, you was in like a really small room, not super small, but like Middle East upstairs last time, to the House of Blues, which is like over 1,000 people difference.
Right.
You know what
I mean, you know, here's the thing. Whether I'm in the Middle East upstairs, that, you know, if it's like maybe 100, 200 people,
right.
You know what I mean? Or this 2,500 people with all these different layers and decks and like levels, I treat it the same way. It's like I go in with the same kind of energy, and maybe I'm crazy and retarded, you know what I mean? But I used to convince myself going on them little stages that I was a star and that, you know, I would treat it like a big show, you know what I mean? And just try to bring that same kind of intensity and energy that I would at a House of Blues that was sold out. Yeah. It was kind of like one of them things, like, I tell the crowd, like, make some noise, we'll do it. And I close my eyes and just pretend that it was this. Yeah. So, you know, it's not so much like a different approach or different feeling or mentality. It's just like same game plan, same attitude we've always had. Yeah. It's just scaled, and it's like you're trying to think about it too much. You just enjoy it, but you continue to approach with the same way. You know?
Right. And speaking of tour, like, what's the significance, or why do you feel like you had to put like all Bay Area artists on the bill with you? You know what I mean?
I think that's a chip that we have on our shoulders. Growing up in the Bay, there's a lot of pride. You know what I mean? It's like you rep that all day. You know
why
what I mean?
Why is that such a thing? Everybody I meet from the Bay reps it so crazy.
I would say that that's like anywhere else. You know what I mean? You talk to somebody from New York, it's like, man, New York. You know what I mean? Like Boston, like Atlanta, LA. Like you bang that shit. You know what I mean? You're proud of where you're from. But the Bay, maybe you could attribute it to the Bay being something of a bubble. You know what I mean? Of like, it's like, the Bay is culturally, you know what I mean, it's so different from everywhere else. Mm-hmm. And we're just kind of like, you know what I mean, fuck y'all, we're gonna just do our own thing here, and we take pride in that. And we support our own, and we have a scene, and you know what I mean, like if you turn on the radio in the Bay, you listen to Cameo, like you'll hear regional stuff. So when growing up, like the E40s and Too Shorts down to the Key Sneaks and Mac Dre's and Messy Marvs, and you know, these guys were stars in my eyes. And superstars, you know, so it's like you just want to rep that everywhere you go and wave our flag.
Yeah, true. And being a Bay kid, what's it like working? Like in the past, you work with Too Short and E40, two Bay legends, man. How do you even like process that in your head?
I still get starstruck, man. When I went to the studio to make the song with Too Short, Show You the World, that was the first time I met him.
Wow.
You know, they reached out, they're like, yo, like, you know, we want to have G come through his studio. He likes G, likes what he's doing. Like, you know, let's make a song for his album. So I come through, and I'm just like starstruck, like nervous. You know what I mean? Like when I get there, and he didn't talk to me for like the first 5 minutes. He was talking, you know what I mean? He finally walks up to me. He's like, what's up? Yeah, I damn near want you on my album. You feel me? And I'm like, oh, man. You know what I mean? Like, how do you impress your hero? Like, so... it's a privilege, but you know, you still like, you remember why they invited you there, why you're here, you know. So I played him his beat, I rapped him the idea I had to it, and he was just like, yeah, that's tight, that's tight. And then we made the song, and that was it.
That's great. I feel like a Too Short studio session would be legendary. Like, Is it really not as crazy as you would think, or can you not even talk about it?
Nah, it was so crazy.
I don't want you to ruin his brand.
Nah, like when I heard, you know what I mean, when he stepped into the booth and he did his thing, you know what I mean, it was just like man, like
surreal,
crazy, you know, just literally witnessing that, you know, like when you see people do what they're known for doing right in front of your eyes, it's like wow, they really are that, you know what I mean, like.
That's crazy. So we switched to These Things Happen, right? Did pretty well, I would say. Would you say the same thing?
yeah. I mean, considering the last album didn't even chart, you know, it didn't even, you know, I mean, this album kind of came out of nowhere for a lot of people, but we've just been persistent and we put the work into it. You know, we really spent the time in the studio, and every time I thought I was done with the album, my management would say, you know, they challenged me to say, you know, how about you take another 3 or 4 weeks, make another batch of songs and see if there's some fat we can trim, you know, and cut it down. And like, you know, we just all pushed each other to make it the best we could. So on one hand, you know, you're like, holy, how we sold 160,000 records.
Crazy.
On the other hand, you're like, well, this is what we were supposed to do. We're just getting started. It's not a surprise, you know, because when you approach the game with that kind of attitude, these are the things that are supposed to happen. So it's a balance.
That's real. And like, what kind of mental space were you in when you wrote Opportunity Cost? 'Cause I feel like that's a really important song. You know what I mean? That a lot of people like won't like think of writing or even approaching, but that's like so important.
And the beat just spoke to me. Like that beat was real. Like it had a feeling, it had a vibe. I got to the studio and I was talking to the engineer, my guy Hector, like, and it like sometimes music really just communicates a certain emotion or a feel. And what that said to me was this dilemma, this, you know, this balance, this back and forth of, you know, I'm out here trying to get it. I was in LA for like weeks in a row, living out of a suitcase, literally just sleeping on couches, trying to make this album.
For sure.
And, you know, I hadn't seen my moms in a minute. I hadn't, you know what I mean? Like seeing my homies, everybody back home, like, and it's this balance that you chase something for so long and you work so hard for something, you almost fall out of touch with those in your old, you know what I mean, normal life, that it's like it's a give and take. And me and him just, you know, bounced the idea, and he was talking about opportunity cost and, you know, about how, you know, when you enjoy this, you lose this. You know what I mean? And there's always going to be that balance. So it just came together.
So Super Bowl's coming up. Right?
Yeah.
Katy Perry says she's bringing out Lenny Kravitz. So if they said G-Eazy,
y'all want to know the secret? Y'all want to know the secret? I'm going to just spoil it right here. Katy Perry is bringing out Young Gerald at Super Bowl. You feel me? I'm finna get it. It's finna be amazing. Hella Americans are about to be who is this lanky ass white dude on stage in a leather jacket? Who is this guy? He just killed that. You feel me?
So if they're like, yo, G-Eazy, you're doing Super Bowl 2024.
I will.
What would be the first?
I already signed the contract, actually.
All right,
how'd you know? Did you know that?
I might know.
I mean, not to just spoil it, but in 2024, I am doing Super Bowl.
I didn't want to put it out there. I was just doing a hypothetical, but you kind of just ruined it.
Yeah.
So
you know.
What would be the first song you perform, and who would be your special guest?
Man, we would have to kill it. We would go above and beyond, have hella production. We would bring out everybody from Jay-Z to U2.
Wow.
You feel me? I might have holograms of the Beatles along with Paul McCartney and Ringo.
Wow.
You feel me? I would definitely have Pac in there. I would have a Mac Dre hologram. I would have a Mac Dre hologram come do Feeling Myself. You feel me? We would just make it real extravagant, real magnificent, real over the top. You feel me? Because that's Super Bowl halftime. It's crazy because, you know, a normal show for an act that big is like an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5, whatever. But a Super Bowl, it's all condensed in a, you know, that short amount of time. So you got to be like, every second has to be over the top. So, you know, I might damn near bring out Mozart. You feel me?
Wow.
Hologram Mozart. Just yeah.
All right. 2024, we could look forward to that.
Hey man, 2024,
maybe not. Like,
that's what you have to expect when the Raiders are, you feel me, in the Super Bowl.
Oh. Wait.
You said 2024, man. I mean, we got a long ways to go to get better. We got a long ways to go, so.
Yeah, I must lead with that. Yo,
yeah.
Malcolm, G-Eazy. Clearly he's tripping about the Raiders, though. NEHip-Hop.
This is Young Gerald. also known as G-Eazy, and you are tuned into NEHip-Hop. Yeah.
The Raiders are terrible.